Hey guys, last time we talked about inverse operations and we showed you some simple equations and how to figure them out using inverse operations. Today we're going to take it a little step further and we're going to do two-step equations, but I'm going to give you a quick refresher on our inverse operations. So if we have the question x plus 4 equals 10, how do we figure this out? Right, this is what we learned last time. This is the inverse operations. So we're gonna have to undo this on this side to get the variable by itself on its own side. So we're gonna do subtract 4 from both sides. So x equals 6, right? So today we're gonna go a little bit further and we're gonna add another step on our variable side. So we're gonna do 2x plus 4 equals 10. So this is gonna follow very similar steps. We want to get the variable alone on its side so we can find out what it's equal to, but we have to keep both sides balanced. So since we're doing inverse operations, we're doing them the opposite, right? So we're gonna subtract 4 from both sides. So it's going to give us 2x equals 6. Now this is where last time we would have been at the end because we would have only had an x up here, right? So we're going to have to take and divide both sides by 2. So x equals 3. Okay, so some of our vocabulary that we need to remember. Inverse operations. And these are all things that we've gone over before. Order of operations. Oops, kind of going over on each other. So let's try another one. Let's try 5 minus 4x equals 23. Okay? So what are we gonna do on this one? This one's a little more complicated because we have a number and then we have the variable. Before we've already had the variable on the far side. So this is a little tricky because sometimes we don't know what to do with this. So we're gonna subtract 5, but this is still negative 4. So subtract 5. So we still have negative 4x equals 18. And then what's the next step? The next step, right, is going to be division to get that x by itself. So we divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. Those cancel each other out, right? And then can 4 go into 18 evenly? So we are just going to make this, get it as small as we can, right? So it's gonna be 2 goes into both of those. So 2, 9, 2. Negative 9 over 2. Okay, so what we're gonna do today is this worksheet we have, and it has, we've already done 2 of them with you, or no, just 1 of them. We've already done number 2 with you. That was that one. And I'm gonna go over number 1, 2 together before you guys work on your own. But what you're gonna do on this one is it has all these lollipops on the bottom that are your answers. So you're gonna figure out your 2-step equations, and then when you get your answer, you're gonna color the coordinating lollipop the color that is on each of the equations. So number 1 is orange, green, blue, pink, so on and so forth. If you get an answer for one of your questions that does not have a lollipop on the bottom, we need to redo it because these are all the answers. Right here, see we have 9. Answer for number 2. So that we're gonna color that one blue, okay? We're gonna color that one blue. Let's do number 1 with you guys. And then I'm gonna let you guys work on your own a little bit. So number 1, grab the paper. Number 1 is 2x plus 3 equals 12. So what do we know? What's the first step we're gonna do here? We're gonna subtract, right? Subtract 3 from both sides. We have to do it on both sides. Keep it equal on both sides. So subtract 3, that's gonna cancel it out, right? So on this side, we just have 2x left. And then on this side, what do we have? Right, we have 9. Okay, now we have to get this x by itself. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna divide by 2 on both sides, right? Divide by 2. Now x equals 9 over 2. Can we get that any smaller? No, right? Nothing goes into both of those. So that is, let's see if we have that as a lollipop. Yep, we sure do. It's right here, right there. So that one is number 1, so that one's gonna be orange. So we have figured out this one is orange, this one is blue. So I want you guys to try to do number 3 and number 4, and then we'll come back together and we'll check our answers. All right, so let me write down number 3 while you guys work on that. 15x plus 98. This one's big numbers, guys. Equals 105. I'll give you a few seconds. What we have to remember, let's look at, so this is what we learned last time up here. Our simple, just inverse operations, one step, simple. Now we are complicating things and we are doing 2 steps. So on this one, as you guys work on these other ones, what's the first step? Right, we want to get our variable by itself. So we're gonna subtract, or add, that's gonna be our first step, then division or multiplication will be the next step. Okay, so we always want to do the subtract and add by itself. We're doing inverse, okay, operations. So subtract 4, then we divide, okay? If you were to do it opposite, if you wanted to divide first, blah, 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 you're not gonna get the right answer. When you go back and you put in, say, what's this one? We're gonna go back and check the answer. 2 times 3 plus 4 equals 10. Is that right? Did we do it right? 2 times 3 is what? 6 plus 4 equals 10. Is that right? Yep. If you were to have divided first, your equation, the math's not going to work out. We have to do it in the correct order. That's going back to that order of operations and inverse. We have to do it this way or it's not going to work out, okay? So always remember, we are going to be doing the addition and subtraction first in these 2-step equations, okay? Let's go ahead and I'm going to solve this one on the board and let's see if you guys did it correctly. I gave you a few minutes to do it. And let's see, so what are we gonna do first? We're going to subtract, right? So we are going, this seems like really big numbers, but it's not because 105 and we're taking away 98. We're not gonna end up with huge numbers, okay? So let's take away 98, This cancels each other out, right? Exactly even. Now we have 7 left over here. So 15x equals 7. Now what's the next step? Right? Division. Okay, so we are going, since this is multiplying, we've got to do the inverse operation, the opposite, right? And we have to divide this to get rid of it. 15 divided by 15. Can we simplify? Can we simplify this at all? 7 over 15, 7/15. Can we simplify that anymore? Nope, right? Not at all. So x equals 7/15. Let's see if that is one of our answers on our lollipop paper. It is 7/15, number 3, right there. So some of these, we're gonna get into where we have some decimals and things like that. Let's not overcomplicate it too much in our brains. They're not any harder than the other ones. I'm gonna give you guys some time to work on this, and then we'll come back together in a minute and kind of wrap up everything. Let's see. I'm going to show you one of the decimal ones real quick before we wrap it up, because I feel like that might confuse some of you guys. So number 5, it is 0.25x plus 0.75 equals 1.5. So we're still following the same steps, and we're going to subtract 0.75 out of 1.5. Subtract 0.75, 0.75. So that cancels each other out. 1.5 is double of 0.75, so we just have 0.75 left. And then we have 2.5x. I'm running out of room here, guys, sorry. Divided by, right, next step is division, divide by 2.5, divide 2.5. And 0.25 goes into 0.75 how many times? Think of quarters. This is like point, right? 3 times. So x equals 3. Okay? Just because we have those, and if you need to, you can double check your math and make sure that you're doing these right as you get into these decimals and stuff, but I think you guys are gonna do okay. So number 3 is one of our answers. You're gonna color that one red. I'm gonna give you guys the rest of class to work on this. If you have any questions, I will walk around and help you guys. But hopefully we have a good understanding of our 2-step. Remember our vocab over here. Inverse operations, order of operations, these are vocab words that you guys should have already known from previous lessons, but they are things that we need to go back to in this lesson and remember. So, you guys keep working on this, raise your hand if you have any questions, and I'll help you, okay?